All right, the next guy that I had on the list, man, Trenton Simpson. 6'3", 240 pounds, what they had him listed down at Clemson. 73 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 PBUs. I think that he does a good job of shedding blocks on the perimeter. I think that he also has positional flexibility in the sense that he can play the 4-3 will linebacker. He can play dime linebacker. I know at Clemson, they were playing him low-key as the Sam linebacker, but it was still, like I said, a 4-3, so it's off ball. But the other thing that I like is this, man. When you watch his game, man, they used him as a spy a lot of times on some of those passing situations. He was elite with that because of how he can close to the football. You cut on Trenton Simpson's tape, you're going to see him bouncing at that line of scrimmage and mirroring these quarterbacks. And when that guy decides to take a step one way or the other, he's going to get them. That's what he does. They've utilized him as their fourth rusher, so to speak, and some of the zone coverage elements as well. And he does a good job with that. I think he's an effective blitzer, and I think he's very comfortable in space. Watching him, I mean, he kind of gives me JOK vibes when I look at him. You know what I mean? And then in terms of some of the cons with him, I just think that he is one of those guys that's good at a ton of stuff, but not necessarily great at one particular thing to me. When I watch him rush the passer, the times when he gets sacks and he wins is usually him being a free rusher. When I watch him chasing after quarterbacks, is usually him as a spy. So if I'm trying to scheme that up, how do I scheme a chase down scenario for him? You see what I mean? Without me simply saying, hey, you're just going to always be the spy. That's some of the knocks that I have. In terms of him in coverage, I don't necessarily love him as a man-to-man cover guy at this level. I think he could do a dope job as a zone guy, but that's part of the issue with him. You can cover certain players, yes, but is he going to be able to give me your true 3-down guy? I don't personally think that just yet. And I think the big weakness, if I'm watching, I'm trying to attack him, I'm going to run at him. Simple as that. I think a lot of the teams, like when I watch him, especially watching the games at Clemson, he would be quiet at times, but then he's going to have you a crazy like chase down or a crazy like hit because of how hard he plays. So I like his game. Obviously, you can see the productivity is not to the same level as Drew Sanders when we talk about 100-plus tackles, the tackles for loss, the sacks, stuff like that. But Trenton's still a good player. All right. Did you have one on that one? Oh, and the last thing I had is I just think that he's just a variation. I think the knock on him is that I don't think he fits our scheme. I think that he's more of a 4-3 will, keep him clean, let him just run and hit, man. See ball, get ball, kind of like we say with Devin Bush. If Devin was in a 4-3, we think he could thrive. Whereas in our defense, we see he has some struggles.
I thought he was a cornerback at first when I first saw him.
Mm-hmm. That's what said JOK.
I think
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. That's the guy.
I think they have him listed as weighing more than Drew Sanders, but I just don't believe it. I don't know. Is it the Clemson jerseys that are throwing me
especially
off?
with the like how it's folded up? I'm with you, bro.
I was like, yeah, this dude's cool. He's fast, and that was one of the big highlights with him. How he's able to chase dudes sideline to sideline. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how the hell he's holding up as an inside linebacker.
I'm with you.
I was like, are they going to move him to the slot maybe?
Like, he's got to be a dime linebacker, bro. But I'm like, this is part of the reason, like, when I think of putting him at linebacker, I'm like, this is the pros and cons if we talk about putting our Terrell Edmonds at linebacker. It's like rangy, sideline, can do the chase down stuff. But if you're running at that play after play after play, can he hold up against that? That's the conversation with Edmonds in terms of Terrell Edmonds, and I think that's going to be the big conversation at the NFL level with Trenton. If I'm an OC, if I'm on offense, bro, I'm not letting this dude be free and to just run and chase me down because he going to do that. He can do that at a high level, absolutely. But you run at him, it's different. And, yeah, I'm with you, bro. They got him listed at 240. I don't buy it.
I don't like him at inside linebacker, but I'm sure he's going to go second round. Isn't he listed around there? He's one of the top 2 or 3 inside linebackers in these rankings.
He is, bro.
Because of the talent, but it's just like, where do you put him? That's inside linebacker, is it safety, nickel? I don't know if his coverage is good enough for that.
You heard what I said. Good at a lot, not great at anything. So it's like you're not a cover guy, so I can't put you at nickel. But you're not a thumper, so I can't leave you at inside. You're not a passer, so I can't put you at outside. But you're an athlete. You're fast. You can cover enough. You can rush enough. You can play the run enough. But it's like, how do I use you? And that's going to be the challenge for whatever DC does get him, trying to figure out the best play. I'm sure the same conversation was with Jamal Adams, the same conversation with Tyrann Mathieu. You know, I'm sure to a certain extent,
third round.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, how do I use this guy? because he can play around the line of scrimmage. He makes a ton of plays here, but we can cover him. But he's not necessarily an outside corner. He's not necessarily a full-time passer. He's not a full-time linebacker, but he makes plays. You know, so I was thinking of it like that.
That's why probably someone will draft him. You're going to have some type of vision. Usually you have that problem going from high school to college because dudes are listed literally as athletes, and then the coach got to figure out where to put you. A lot less of this type of stuff happens going to the NFL, but I think this is the scenario for him.